Why, despite numerous controversies, does Vladimir Putin remain a beloved figure among many Russians? Welcome to a paradox that has intrigued political enthusiasts and casual observers alike. Vladimir Putin, the assertive leader of Russia, is a figure who's been no stranger to controversy. His leadership has been marked by criticisms both domestically and internationally. Accusations of political repression, mishandling of the economy, and alleged acts of aggression on the global stage are but a few of the many contentious issues that have set tongues wagging about Putin's reign. Yet, amid all these controversies, Putin's popularity among many Russians seems to be an unshakable constant. They view him as a strong leader who defends Russia's interests without flinching. This unwavering support is a testament to his ability to resonate with the Russian populace. This conundrum of Putin's enduring popularity is what we aim to explore. What makes Putin so appealing to many Russians despite the criticisms? Join us as we delve into the enigma of Putin's enduring popularity. Vladimir Putin, a former KGB officer, ascended to Russia's highest office in 1999. How did this journey unfold? It all started in the heart of the Cold War, where a young Putin was serving as a lieutenant colonel in the KGB, the Soviet Union's main security agency. This period was instrumental in shaping Putin's worldview, fostering in him a deep-seated belief in the power of the state and a strong nationalistic sentiment. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, Putin found himself in the political arena, serving as the mayor of St. Petersburg. It was during this time that he began to display the qualities of assertive leadership that would later define his presidency. His ability to navigate the political landscape with a firm hand and a clear vision was not lost on Russia's then-president, Boris Yeltsin. In 1999, Yeltsin appointed Putin as prime minister, a move that would set the stage for Putin's eventual rise to the presidency. Despite initially being relatively unknown to the general public, Putin rapidly gained popularity through his strong stance on national security and his commitment to restoring Russia's status on the global stage. When Yeltsin unexpectedly resigned on the last day of 1999, Putin became acting president, a position he would later secure in the 2000 elections. His victory was largely attributed to his nationalist rhetoric, which resonated with many Russians who yearned for a return to their country's former glory. Throughout his presidency, Putin has consistently demonstrated a strong and assertive leadership style. Whether it's standing up to Western governments, cracking down on corruption, or championing Russia's interests abroad, Putin has proven time and again that he is a leader who is unafraid to make tough decisions. His ability to connect with the Russian populace, coupled with his unwavering commitment to Russia's national interests, has earned him a place in the hearts of many Russians. Despite the controversies and criticisms that have marked his presidency, Putin's popularity among the Russian people remains strong. From the shadows of the KGB to the spotlight of the presidency, Putin's rise to power was nothing short of meteoric. No leader is without criticism, and Putin is no exception. What are the main controversies that have marred his leadership? In the labyrinth of Putin's reign, allegations of corruption stand out as one of the most glaring controversies. Critics argue that, under his watch, corruption has seeped into the very fabric of Russian society, with Transparency International ranking Russia 135th out of 180 countries in its 2023 Corruption Perceptions Index. From high-ranking officials to small-time bureaucrats, stories of graft and embezzlement are all too common, painting a grim picture of a system where integrity is often overshadowed by greed. But corruption is just one facet of the dark side of Putin's reign. The suppression of dissent, particularly of political opposition and independent media, is another contentious point. Under Putin's leadership, Russia has seen a steady erosion of civil liberties. Critics and opposition leaders are often subjected to what many consider politically motivated charges, effectively silencing their voices and stifling any potential challenge to Putin's power. Indeed, the case of Alexei Navalny, Putin's most vocal critic, who was poisoned and later imprisoned upon his return to Russia, underscores the perils of opposing Putin's regime. Independent media outlets are also not spared, with many facing intense scrutiny, fines, and in some cases closure, effectively curtailing the freedom of the press. Then there's the realm of foreign policy, where Putin's decisions have often been met with international condemnation. From the annexation of Crimea in 2014, which sparked the worst East-West crisis since the Cold War, to Russia's involvement in the Syrian civil war, Putin's foreign policy maneuvers have been seen by many as aggressive and destabilizing. Yet it's important to note that these decisions are not without their supporters. Many Russians view Putin's assertive foreign policy as a necessary counterbalance to Western hegemony, a way of asserting Russia's sovereignty and protecting its interests on the global stage. The dark side of Putin's reign is a complex tapestry, woven with threads of corruption, suppression of dissent, and contentious foreign policy decisions. At its core, it paints a picture of a leader who, despite the controversies, remains largely unchallenged at home. But this begs the question, how does Putin maintain his popularity despite these controversies? Is it his charismatic personality, his perceived strength, or is there something more at play? After all, as Fyodor Dostoevsky once wrote, nothing is easier than to denounce the evildoer. Nothing is more difficult than to understand him. Despite these controversies, Putin's popularity among Russians remains largely undiminished. But why? In the face of international criticism, many Russians continue to support Putin. What drives this unwavering loyalty? To understand this, we need to delve into the psyche of the Russian populace and their perceptions of leadership. Many Russians view Putin as a strong and assertive leader. This image is not without reason. Putin, a former KGB officer, has often shown his mettle in making tough decisions and standing firm against international pressures. His tenacity and resolve have earned him respect among many Russians, who see him as someone capable of defending the motherland's interests. But the admiration for Putin doesn't stop at his perceived strength. Putin's nationalist rhetoric also strikes a chord with many Russians. He often speaks passionately about the greatness of Russia, its rich history, and its role in the world. This rhetoric resonates with a populace yearning for the recognition of their nation on the global stage, a sentiment deeply rooted in the national psyche. Under Putin's leadership, Russia has often taken a stand against Western policies and ideologies. This defiance is seen by many Russians as a defense of their country's interests and sovereignty. Putin's assertiveness on the global stage, be it in asserting Russia's rights in the Arctic or in opposing NATO's eastward expansion, has been perceived as a welcome change from what many Russians see as years of their country being sidelined. Moreover, Putin's leadership style, which combines a strongman image with an ability to connect with ordinary Russians, has also contributed to his popularity. He projects an image of a leader who understands the common man's struggles and aspirations, and this resonates with many in Russia. In conclusion, Putin's popularity among many Russians can be attributed to his image as a strong leader, his nationalist rhetoric, and his defense of Russia's interests on the global stage. His ability to connect with ordinary Russians and resonate with their aspirations and sentiments has played a significant role in his enduring popularity. Putin's ability to resonate with the Russian populace is a testament to his political savvy and leadership style. Despite controversies and criticisms, Putin continues to command the respect and admiration of many Russians. Let's revisit the paradoxical phenomenon we've been discussing thus far. Vladimir Putin, a figure of contention on the global stage, remains an emblem of strength and resiliency for many in his homeland. This enigma is deeply rooted in the Russian psyche, entwined with the country's history, culture, and national pride. Putin's journey from a spy to the president of Russia is nothing short of extraordinary. His assertive leadership style, coupled with his ability to defend Russia's interests globally, resonates with the Russian populace. They view him as a protector, a guardian of their sovereignty, and an embodiment of their nationalistic fervor. Yet there's a darker side to Putin's reign that can't be ignored. Allegations of political repression, corruption, and economic instability have cast a shadow over his leadership. Critics argue that the freedoms and prosperity promised at the dawn of the post-Soviet era have not fully materialized under Putin's rule. But from the Russian perspective, these criticisms often fall on deaf ears. Many Russians credit Putin with restoring stability after the chaotic Yeltsin years and for standing up to what they perceive as Western aggression. This perception, whether grounded in reality or not, is a significant factor in Putin's enduring popularity. The implications of Putin's popularity for Russia and the world are profound. It shapes the country's domestic policies, its international relations, and its overall trajectory. It also influences how other nations engage with Russia, often requiring a delicate balance between diplomacy and confrontation. As we strive to understand the complexities of global politics, the enigma of Putin's popularity serves as a reminder that leadership is often more about perception than reality. It's a testament to the power of narrative, the allure of nationalism, and the enduring appeal of strong leadership even in the face of controversy. The enigma of Putin's popularity challenges us to question our own perceptions and perhaps understand the world a little better.